Go ahead and let everybody know that I will not be running again for sheriff. I'll have 20 years in, and I think that's probably enough. I'm not for or against term limits, but I think 20 years is my goal when I started, and that's what I'm going to keep with.
And looking back over those years, Butch, any highlights, good things, bad things?
Basically, I can't say anything but good about the people I've had under me. They're pretty much what kept me being elected each year or each time, and I have had the support of pretty much all the people in the county each year, and I've enjoyed it. I've had fun with it, and it's like anything else, you have good days and bad days, but overall I thoroughly have enjoyed what I've done.
What do you look forward to now? What are your plans? Traveling or?
Traveling to the grandkids.
Okay.
And basically catching up stuff that I've let go around the house and mowing on the side a little and whatever else my lovely wife says.
Was this a hard decision for you, or?
No, like I say, I had pretty much had that goal of 20 years when I started. And, you know, it's like anything else, to keep it going strong, you kind of want to get somebody a little younger to come in that, I mean, it's like, I am not computer illiterate, but I can't do a lot with computer, but since the world's pretty much technology, get somebody in here that can fast forward that a little more.
With all the headaches of the old jail, you kind of sorry that you don't get much time in the new one?
I'll get it till the warranty's off, so that's good. I don't have to worry about that then.
Okay.
Well, in making your decision to not seek re-election, looking forward, any recommendations for your successor?
Well, I've got Lewis Tatum that's going to be running from this office, and I think he'll do a real good job, and that's pretty much what I would say I would be behind.
Pretty good lead into Lewis, and you've got an announcement for us today.
Yeah, I do intend to run for sheriff now that Sheriff Adams has announced that he is retiring. We've been talking about it for some time, and I've been trying to learn a little bit along and about trying to manage the budget and deal with Commissioner's Court and what all I need to be trying to learn how to do. Of course, I've got some really big shoes to try to fill if I get elected. Butch has done such a good job the last 20 years that, and I've been with him all but 1 year since he's been sheriff, and I've learned a lot from him. I just hope I can, you know, intend to try to carry it on.
Have you been thinking about this a long time, or how
Well, yeah, it's been coming on for a while. We've sat down and talked with the other deputies and investigators and all the people we're associated with, and it's been a eye-opening experience, you know. But we want to keep this department going. We've worked hard. Butch has worked hard to put this together, and we've all worked hard with him to get going what we've been able to accomplish. And we sure do want to keep it going.
What kind of roles have you had here at the sheriff's office? Have you always been an investigator? I haven't been here that long.
No, I started out as a regular deputy on deep night shift. I worked there for 2 years, and I was a corporal on deep nights for 2 years. Then I was a sergeant on deep nights for 2 to 3 years, and then I went into CID, I think in 2005. And I was just an investigator for several years, and then about 3 to 4 years ago I became chief investigator.
What do you see as a chief challenge in the job? What's the biggest challenge in being sheriff here?
Making sure the jails run right, keep jail standards happy. I know that's a big factor. Of course, making all the citizens of Hopkins County happy, and do what we continue to do right now, chasing down these burglars. You know, like everybody else in this world, we've got a methamphetamine problem. Keep fighting that. keep our staff, you know, the way that Sheriff Adams got it in place to hire these deputies now. You know, we want to put the best deputies we can on the street. Just make the citizens of the county happy.
You've all had great success working burglaries and other crimes in the county, and will you continue to try to be involved? I know in smaller counties we see, you know, sheriffs that are really out there, but in larger counties there tend to be more administrators, and there's a lot of administration to the job. So how do you see that balance for you?
I'm gonna continue doing exactly what I'm doing, other than if I'm elected, I'm gonna step into the role that Butch is fulfilling now. You know, of course, that will take some of the time away, but I'll still talk to my informants and pass it on down the line. I've got we got a good team of investigators, and some coming up. Mm-hmm. You know, we're kind of planning ahead. If I do get elected, of course, that'll take me out of CID. We'll bring some more in. We've got some more young officers that are very enthused about moving into that role, and they're working hard at it right now.
If elected, a couple of chief hires you would have. One, the chief deputy. I think Ricky is probably going to retire with the sheriff.
Right.
That's for him to say, but I've heard that. And then, of course, your chief investigator. That'll be a big hire for you.
Yeah, I'll have to do some study on that. Of course, that's been running through my mind quite a bit. What I'm going to do about that. Of course, we'll all sit down. It's not going to be a decision. It'll basically be my decision, but it's also not going to be on my own. I'm going to sit down and talk to everyone. We're going to go over everything we're going to do, because this is a team effort. Like the sheriff was saying, you can't do this by yourself. Mm-hmm. The reason we got such a great department is we got everybody works together, and you know, of course, we're all human, and we disagree and agree to disagree, but when it all comes down to it, they all pull together and we get the job done.
Well, support, you know, within the department, Lewis, but how about outside at home, about your family? What's their thought on this?
Well, the way I've worked with the sheriff's department, this has been my life, and my wife knows that, my kids know that, and it's just I guess it's the way I was brought up. Work ethics is that's just going to continue on. It's going to keep. Yeah, they support me. My parents support me. My kids do so, and my neighbors seem to, and everybody I've talked to, you know, seems to support me running for sheriff. So we will just get out there and see what we can do.